Hello everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to update you on my project pan. Now, I have had a bit of a weird month. I've been traveling a lot for work, so if I have brought something with me in my makeup bag, I have been using it a lot and been making good progress. If I've left it at home, no progress whatsoever. So this is a bit of a funny one. It's a little bit late this month because I just got back from Sydney last night, but I'm trying to rush this because I'm mindful that this video is a bit late. Let's start with the things that I have used up, and I want to talk about my Juvias Place eyeliner that I introduced last month. Now, it was a nubbin when I introduced it. I didn't realize I had used it so much, so it is used up. It is done. That only took me a week or something to use it up. So brown liner. Now I have replaced that with my only other brown liner that I've got in my collection, pencil liner specifically, and I'm starting to stress. I've just ordered one from Sephora, just a Sephora brand one, because I love brown eyeliners and I'm like, I don't have any. The only one that I've got left is this Urban Decay one. This is Demolition. It's the 24/7 Glide On eye pencil. There is quite a lot of this left, so I'm not worried that this is going to be used up in the next month. But I do use brown eyeliners very often for like waterline tight lining. So it sort of stresses me out knowing that this is my only one. This is quite a dark liner though. So this is one that you don't need to use much of. It's a very, very dark brown, sort of my hair color essentially. And it's a matte liner, so it doesn't have shimmer in it. The one that I did order is more of a bronze shimmer, so it is slightly different. By default, I'm going to be including this in my project pan. Do I necessarily want to use it up quickly? No, because it's my only brown liner, but I sort of feel like I need a brown liner in my project pan. Miracles can happen. I've used up my little Rare Beauty blush in Virtue. This is the mini size. I really like this peachy color. It's a really beautiful color. Whenever I wore it quite predominantly, I'd get people being like, that's such a beautiful blush. I really like the color. I don't wear liquid blush every day to be like, I'm gonna miss this, but I am proud of myself for using it up. Like I took out the stopper, I can scrape down the sides, there's not much left on the wand. There is a little bit left down the bottom. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm not going to bring in any new blushes because I still have quite a lot of blush in this project pan. But on to the next thing. Oh, I used up my Kaleidos eyeshadow primer. Yay! Cue the confetti. This has taken ages. I'm really surprised how much was in this, which is good because if you love it, good. It's not my favorite eyeshadow primer, so I'm not going to miss it. But what I'm going to replace that with is actually a much newer product to my collection, but I've noticed that this starts getting like a dry layer on the top, which I don't like. So this is by Merit, and this is the Studio Solo Shadow. It's a cream eyeshadow. So it's this color here, which is quite nice. I can use this as a base. I can use it as an eyeshadow. It is a putty texture, but it's not as emollient as something like a paint pot from MAC, where I can have it sitting in a drawer for months without touching it and it's perfect. This one gets this sort of like drier crust where you need to sort of mix it in. So I'm sort of focusing on this as being a good like one and done eyeshadow, or something underneath, a shimmer. I sort of want this done before it completely dries out because I'm worried that it is on that path. Ooh, I've used up my foundation, my really ridiculously tanned foundation that I had to mix with other things. In the last month, I've been mixing this with Morphe really light foundation, which has worked well, but now this doesn't pump out. So last month it was sort of up to here. I think it's actually a bit lower, but yeah, nothing pumps out anymore. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. It's a nice foundation. It's very expensive and the shades are a bit wacky. When it comes to replacing that, I've sort of gone down a different path because I don't know which foundation I want to target at the moment. So I've decided to replace that with three things. I've got two concealers here from Stila. So these are the Pixel Perfect concealers. I have two shades and I mix them. So you can see again, one's too dark, one's too light. Theoretically, I could keep these as like foundation mixes, but I've had them now in my collection since I want to say the start of the year, and they were on sale, so they're being discounted. I think they're being discontinued. I don't know. Are they still around? But I got these from the Mecca sale, so they're probably quite old to begin with. Now, there's a lot of concealer here, so I'm thinking of maybe using it a little bit as a foundation. But the only reason I'm trying to focus on these is because I was at a stage where these were my only concealers in my collection, but I've since bought the House Labs one, and I've recently bought the Fenty Beauty one. So I feel like I've got enough sort of potentially better concealers that I can comfortably use these up. So that's going to be my focus. I might realize that, again, I haven't had time to experiment with replacing my foundation, because I used up this foundation just before I went to Hobart last week, and it's been a good week. I haven't had a chance to play with other foundations, so I don't know what I want to replace it with. Next month I might bring in another foundation, but for now I've decided to focus on this Laura Geller Baked Balance and Glow Illuminating Foundation in Fair. Now I really like this because this is it's a very glowy like powder foundation. It does make your skin look really pretty, so if you have over powdered your foundation, you pop a bit of this on and it makes it look really nice and glowy. But this shade is too dark for me. It sort of oxidizes on my skin and ends up looking too bronzy. So I don't want this in my collection. I'm just going to try to use it up. Also works as a bit of a touch-up powder, but I just don't need it. It's very pretty and I like it as a powder foundation. But again, the shade is wrong for me. So I'm just trying to get it out of my life. So that one I'm going to target as well. So yeah, not liquid foundation. I do have liquid foundations I can use, but that's what I'm going to be playing with over the next month. And then if I want to bring in a liquid foundation as well, I will. This is a shame. I've used up my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. Now I really love the combination of using this with like a gloss over the top. It was really pretty. I didn't use this all. It's just that it kept breaking when I was sharpening it, and it got down to the point where it's this little nubbin and it's hard to sharpen. So I'll have where I was up to last month on the screen and you'll be like, wow, that's a lot of usage. But again, I did use it, but it was just that it kept breaking in the sharpener. And I know there's gonna be people that like put it in the freezer before you sharpen it. It will stay like together better. If I put it in the freezer, it will still be in the freezer at Christmas because I will forget about it. So that's not an option for me. I can't have lip liners or eyeliners that are so precious that I need to freeze them before I sharpen them. It's not an option. So this one is done. What I am replacing that with, because I really did like the look of a lip liner with a glossy product over the top, which is what I've got going on today. This is the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in Kitten. Now, what is good about this? It is retractable, so it is so much easier to deal with. This format just suits me a lot more when it comes to lip liners. There is quite a lot left. And because I'm not sharpening it, I'm not losing a lot of product in the process. So hopefully this lasts me a little while, because I'm actually quite low on lip liners, like nude lip liners. I've got some red ones, I've got like wine colored ones, but when it comes to like my lip color or slightly deeper, I actually don't have many, which is not that big a deal because I don't use them often. But yeah, I feel like I've got to panic buy some lip. No, I don't do that. So yeah, I used up a lot of products in the last month, and it's just that example of there were some items that I was using a lot and then some that I totally forgot about. Updates on things that are sort of in between. These I did use. So this is the M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. I mentioned using this as a blush, and I have been using it as a blush. I have hit pan. I think I did this last month though on the highlighter. I've had to be sort of scraping down this pink color to pick it up because it just doesn't pick up with a fluffy brush very well, like a blush brush. And I've been trying to use this shimmery one. So that half I've been using sort of on the cheeks, and then mainly those two shades I've been using as eyeshadows. I am wearing as eyeshadows today. That is probably not far off hitting pan. I reckon if I keep using this, I can hit pan next month. But I have also been prioritizing my use it or lose it eyeshadow palette. So that's my other series that I'm going to probably put a video up next week about, and that is where I'm just sort of testing other colored products, and if I don't want them and I don't want to use them, I'm going to declutter them. So there's an eyeshadow palette that I've been preferring over this. So this one has been sort of sitting in the drawer while I've been traveling, but it is pretty. I do like it and I am wearing it today, but I'll have close-ups on the screen of progress over the last month. I don't think there's heaps of progress because again, I just have been focusing my efforts elsewhere. Similar thing with the Nabla highlighter in Ozone. I really like it. I'm getting right down to the pan so you can see the mesh very, very clearly. I don't know how much progress I've made since last time, but it is something that I don't use every day because I've been using some other things that are quite glowy, but I enjoy it. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of progress on the screen. I'm not too sure. Other two blushes, they've been sort of tucked away and they've been hibernating while I've been traveling. Again, M Cosmetics Magic Hour. This is a baked blush. Very pretty, but I haven't really been using it. I probably used it maybe twice this month, so there won't be any progress. And the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Mecca Glow. I have been using this a little bit, but again, not enough to see progress. These ones are just like, they're just chilling. They're just chilling. Last month I introduced my Smashbox primer water. It was up to there and it is just slightly lower because I've used it like twice. This is a perfect example of something that I'm not going to bring traveling. It's an extra 116 mils that I don't need to travel with. So it's just been, you know, just chilling. It's actually quite a shame though, because the weather's been really nice here. It's like a refreshing mist type weather, like really sunny. I could be using this like when it's cold, which we're in winter at the moment. This is hard to use in the morning because it's cold, but this is something that if I was sitting at my computer and it's quite warm, I can refresh, but I haven't been home. So it's just, there's no progress there. That's fine. With my other two liners, I have been using them quite a lot. So my Maybelline, I think it's Striking Navy, I'll have updates on the screen. I think I've sharpened this once or twice, so there's a tiny bit of progress. And with my Mecca Max Wink Ink Super Liquid Liner, this is something I use regularly, but I don't use much of it. I just do a little tiny wing, so there'll be some weight progress on the screen. There'll be also weight progress on my Too Faced Hangover Replenish Face Primer. I didn't bring this traveling with me, so I've only used it a few times, so not much progress there. My Sigma Renew Lip Oil, I really like this. I'm wearing it today, so that's what's nice and shiny on my lips. Oh, it just gunked on my dress. That's gross. Really pretty, but it is one of many lip products I've been wearing, so it's not the exclusive, but weights will be on the screen of that. I only introduced it last month, so I'm just trying to even just remind myself that it's in the project because I sometimes forget. Same as the LH Cosmetics Fantastick Lipstick in Famous. This is actually for lips and cheeks. Maybe I can use it on my cheeks. It is kind of brownish. I'll have updates on the screen. Again, I don't think there's much progress. I probably used this maybe half a dozen times, so really not that much, but you know, life's been hectic. And then the last thing is my brow gel from Pixi. This swirling brown mess of a clear gel. I have used this a couple of times, but again, probably not enough to see great weight progress, but it's quite like crunchy. But yeah, it's around. So yeah, bit of a refresh, a few things used up, which is good. I will have a think over the next month of like what other foundations and what other products I can add in. I think over the next month or two, I'm gonna have to decide like, what do I want to do with these? Because I'm really not making much progress. I'm sort of gravitating towards other things. So like, do I want to keep them in? And I also want to really whittle down my foundation collection. So even though I'm focusing on the powder for now, which is technically a foundation, I do want to get through some more liquids. So what I might even do throughout the month is, since this is a little bit dark, I might find lighter foundations, layer, figure out a combo that I can work with, so I can keep using this and also still be making progress on liquid foundations, because whenever I use up a liquid foundation, I'm like, yes, my foundation drawer looks so much more like neat and tidy. So it is something that I want to keep going. I just haven't had the brain space to test that yet. So let me know in the comments if you're doing a project pan and how you're going with it. What are your favorite things to pan? What are your roadblocks? Are you starting to stress out that you only have one brown eyeliner left? Like, let me know. I'd love to have a chat, and I'll see you in the next one. And a big thank you to my members for supporting my channel. Bye guys.